This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast.
Before you start, sorry, I just found Kalle's Louis Vuitton £4,000 pouch.
It's a Bangkok one.
Okay, sorry, from Bangkok. Okay, so just to let people know, just keep it on colour. We're going to tell you 4 items.
Not the 5th one.
No, not the 5th. Umar, could you just hold this? I'm going to just point out 4 items. At random? At random.
Choose them random.
Okay.
I'm putting full trust into Coogan on this. Yeah?
Right, no, can you hold it, please, so I can get it?
Okay.
Right. So the first item is this.
A phone. This is not going anywhere near your hands.
Okay, no problem. Second.
A receipt, hold on. Oh, that was a bar bill from Saturday night. I'll keep that firmly in my hands as well.
Third. This is random stuff we're taking out of Callum's bag.
A £20 note, lovely. No, that is also, that is
that?
going back in the bag. Actually, you know what? We'll donate that. We'll donate that to something. You can choose what to donate it to. That's a donation.
This is the magic one.
There's Swiss francs in there as well.
Hold on. Whoa. Magic one. Oh, unbelievable. Here we go. Randomly.
This one. Right. For all you over 40s, you'll understand. These are the things that let me see these days, because now
I came here for a shootout.
like in a western. I don't think they're Ronnie Cray. You think they're Ronnie Cray? What do you think?
All right, let me do the 5th one, because your career will end right now.
I said four.
All right, sorry. All right.
Leave the shooter in there. The things I go through with Coogan and Umar. Right. Coogan, the creche is round there. You can amuse yourself while the men here have an interview in professional manner.
Well, that's 2 minutes we'll never get back of our lives. But Mr. Kalle Sauerland, how are you?
Well, I'm relaxed now. He's left the room. I'm good. How are you, Umar?
Well, not the best of weekends, to be honest, but let's just not talk about football.
We won't talk about football because, Tottenham did win on Sunday, so... And Coogan's not in the room, so I can't talk about Arsenal Palace either. So let's move on to boxing.
Absolutely. Launch press conference May 13th at the O2 Indigo. What a clash we've got at the top of the bill between Adofia and Bentley. Just talk to me, Kalle. We haven't caught up since you won the purse bids. Of course, you had a different valuation to Bentley's promoter, Queensbury and Frank Warren. So why did you go in for this one?
I said it at the presser. I mean, at the time, we weren't even sure what platform we were going to put it on it. We just thought it was a great fight. And I think it was one of those fights that we looked at and appealed to us because we think that it's a great... We love middleweights. We were a whole company that had a great history in the middleweight division. And I love the British title. In fact, it's the first purse bid we've won for a British title. So we're very proud of that. I believe it's one of the purest belts out there. It's a belt that, if you look at the other names around on the domestic scene at middleweight alone, it's fantastic. So the British belt really is that stamp to go on and fight for the right. That's my sales pitch on it. But to show that you're the best in Britain and have the right to go on to try and conquer the world, that's what it is, So it's fantastic. They're both, very, very attractive boxing styles, So we looked at it and said, yeah, we'll have a pop at that, and we came up winners. So we're delighted to be promoting it. And hey, live on Channel 5, what a platform that is, and what a fight to kick it off. I mean, it's a fantastic card. Obviously, the return of Josh Kelly, Eubank, Masha Dodd is a very tough fight. You got Brad Pauls, Kelly for a middleweight final eliminator for the British title, just to spice things up on the evening. But you've got some, Razor Ali, fantastic story on the undercard as well. Dan Morley's boxing. It's gonna be a great night, and we're really looking forward to it.
Kalle, if this was on Sky, BT, DAZN, what's the difference that Channel 5 can do? We know it's not necessarily always boxing hardcores that are going to tune into this. This can reach to, as you said, people's nans could switch this on. So what is the difference with Channel 5 and the other platforms we've got?
I think, first of all, that it's the other sector is the pay sector. So I don't think that this is really in any competition to it. So I hope that their news channels and their media crews are all reporting on this, because this is free to air. This is not Freeview. It's not, for free. It's on free to air. You push number 5 on your telly. If you've got an old-fashioned one, it will go straight to number 5 and you can watch the fight. And there will be people watching game shows, movies, family movies before that on there, whatever they're showing that evening. And it's the opportunity for our sport to gain new fans. So I think that's the key. So for us, this is, people will say, well, you could have looked at other fights. I think this is the perfect fight to launch with the whole package of the evening. And yes, the whole card will not be on Channel 5 because it's obviously a free-to-air channel. So the time that we're lucky enough to have for boxing is limited, but we're going to find a way of, together with Channel 5, of getting the rest of the undercard out there. It's simply too good not to show, and it will make sure it doesn't cost you a bean. And that's what it is. So I think that the industry will welcome it with open arms, which is slightly different, of course, if you're on DAZN or if you're on Sky, and there's a competition sort of element to it. This here really benefits everyone, because hopefully those people who watch the show and get hooked on it because it's a great night of boxing, watch more. That's what we want. That's ultimately what we all want.
What you're really saying is that everyone in the industry should thank Wasserman, Kalle, Nissa and Channel 5.
Well, I would start with Channel 5. I don't think can't say that the Sauerland brothers and Wasserman are reinventing the wheel, but it's in the DNA of our company. We've been on free-to-air platforms all over the world. I keep cracking that number, the German number of 23 million. That is not a made-up Kalle number. And it's that's something we aspire to. Will we have 23 million on May 13 from the O2 Indigo? I don't think so, but we need to move in that direction. One day, hopefully, we will get into 2-digit millions, and then, viewers, and that's got to be the aim, and. People saying, what level fights can you attract to the platform? Well, I'll turn around. I say, well, what level viewership can we attract to the platform, which will allow the platform to, to roll the dice more on boxing? We've got a fantastic head of sports in Kalle Sauerland, who's really behind it, which is always important in a network. You've seen that over the years. It's key because there are other sports out there. We all know that. And boxing, whether we like it or not, is a type of niche sport. I think in the UK it's a bit more than a niche sport, but still we have to fight for every fan, and we have to deliver. That's our job.
So with Adofia Bentley and the cards moving forward, am I right in saying we just get the main event on Channel 5?
No, we're looking at. We'll announce that closer to the event, but we're looking at least 2, if not even 3, fights from the night that will go on Channel 5, and we'll be looking with Channel 5 to work out the best solution in terms of reaching the biggest audience for the rest of the undercard. Like I said, some fantastic names on there.
How many cards are you planning with Channel 5 this year, Kalle?
I think we've got space for around another 5 this year. I think that's what we'll be looking to do. But once again, we'll go step for step. It's about quality cards. So to sit there and say, we're going to do 10, we're going to do 3, we're going to do... Yeah, they have to work. They have to work for the broadcaster, they have to work for us, they have to work, most important, in terms of delivering that sporting credibility, which when you're on free-to-air, you have that responsibility to deliver. And by the way, I think in the past, Channel 5... has had some cracking boxing, had some real good matchmaking on there. I think it's been very, very well done. I think we're going to bring a little bit more of a mainstream approach to the promotion and the build-ups to it. That's our aim. I think we have already a very big stable in the UK, and we're going to aggressively be funding a second round of signing, so to speak, without making it sound too formal. But if you're free of contract and you're a good fighter, female or male, you know where to find us.
Absolutely. You talked about the reach that you've had before with free-to-air television. So for these 5 cards, approximately, that you're planning for the rest of the year, including Adofia Bentley, what kind of figures do you think we're looking on average? Of course, it depends on the fight as well, but on an average scale.
I mean, the key has got to be to get into the sort of 7-figure range, but then at the same time, you are looking at when can Channel 5 put us on, and our job is to bring the content, and I think that we need to be consistent. When I say consistent, I mean it can't just be random fights. There has to be storylines. There has to be continued storylines. So, what I like about the size of our stable, what we now 15, 20 UK fighters, I like the fact that we can service it without. You'll see a face, and you'll see them again. That's what I mean by consistency. So it's always important to build on free-to-air with consistency. We've learned that over the years, whether it's been ARD, the public broadcaster in Germany, TV2 in Denmark. I can tell you about all different countries. But the key to success on free-to-air is always to keep it consistent. And we're looking to take it to let's say some cool venues. I love the O2 Indigo. I think it's fantastic. I think we're going to have a great Friday night crowd in there. It's going to be party time. Outside the ring, and obviously inside the ring, it's going to be the gladiator zone. So that's what you want to do. We want to have nights with a bit of entertainment vibe to it. We're going to have DJs on, and expect to see a lot of Wasserman. The world of Wasserman clients sitting around the ring, so lots of selfies for the fans to take and things like that. We want to make it a night out, around boxing.
That suits Wasserman, doesn't it?
Suits me too.
Well, congratulations on that deal. Look forward to what the rest of the year entails with Wasserman and Channel 5. Now, just to clarify something for some of the viewers, so the likes of Chris Eubank Jr., Filip Hrgovic, I'm sure you've got other fighters as well, they've got their own separate TV deals. So, for example, Jr. stays on Sky Sports for the rest of his contract. Filip Hrgovic is doing stuff with Matchroom and DAZN and a co-promotional with you. So, some people thought, does that mean Eubank and Filip are now on Channel 5?
Yeah. I mean, I would slightly rephrase it from a contractual point of view. It's the Wasserman who has the deals with the networks, and then we put certain fighters on. So, look, we had a co-promotion at the weekend with Sky and with Boxer in Newcastle. We've got ongoing discussions about what's happening with Eubank's next fight. We simply don't know yet, but we're in negotiations, and we'll see.
Can that be on any platform then? His next fight.
Well, I mean, look, we're very happy with Sky. We just need to find the right fight. It has to be a box office fight, and we're looking at the different angles there. So I can't really say more than that at the moment. I mean, it wouldn't make sense to be on Sky box office and put out Eubank against Joe Bloggs and have my head taken off when I walk down the road. I don't fancy that. So we'll have to see what's available. It's as simple as that. And there's lots of interesting options, but a lot of them are tied up at the moment. We are in discussions on Kell Brook. That's what I can't really say more than that right now. On Hrgovic, he's fighting May 7th live on DAZN, co-feature to Canelo over in Vegas. So 4 days later, we're in Australia with Myris Bridis and his mandatory defence of his world title against J.R. Pataya, on Fox Sports. So, we work internationally with all different partners. We always have done, and we always will. In
terms of Chris Eubank Jr., from the outside looking in, the main or only really sticking point with the Kell Brook fight seems to be the weight issue. So can you make any comment on that? It's been dealt with.
Yeah, the weights we have, as I understand it, because there's middlemen who are acting here as well. I understand that the weight issue was finalised last week.
So what is the main issue at the moment?
Well, like I said, I found it was it's a fight where, of course, the weight's important. It needs to be fair to both. I think there's a solution for that now. And then, of course, it's professional boxing. Do I need to tell you what it's about, Umar?
I know.
Splits, it's about money, those sort of things. But
are you confident those hurdles can be overcome?
That really depends on. I think we have reasonable demands. For what I understand and what we believe is market value, and that's now down to, let's say, the sides to find a common agreement. I think it's a very big fight. I think it's a blockbuster. But do they really want it? We'll see.
If it's not Kell Brook, we know Golovkin and Murata box very soon. So depends how long Junior really wants to wait. But is that not on the potential option, the winner of that fight?
Yeah, it's a potential option. We've discussed it with them before. I saw Triple G saying, recently there was an interview I saw there. They didn't want to talk about Eubank anymore, but I have to. And I really like Kennedy. But if you look at his last fight, I believe it was in Florida. In the interview, I believe it was even in the ring after the fight, he mentioned one name, and he mentioned Eubank Jr. as next possible opponent. So I don't know, and we have been talking, and we'll continue to see if that's of interest, and you need for the big fights, you need two sides, and for Triple G. A fight like that, Wembley Stadium would be, I'm sure, a big fight.
Well, I'm glad I'm sat here talking to you about Filip Hrgović, where he's got a fight date and opponent locked in on the Canelo Bivol card.
Smile on my face there, yeah, that's been a long time coming. No, so yeah, he's out May 7. Big Bang Zhang, the opponent. The winner, has the right to take on the marbles, and that will come quick afterwards because that IBF situation, there's a mandatory that's overdue even. The last one was Pulev, and Pulev was already overdue. So straight after May 7, I know that they're cooking up something in the desert between AJ and Usyk, or Usyk and AJ, as we now have to say. But yeah, there's no beating around the bush with the IBF. What federation who's famously taken away belts. Ask Tyson. He lost his belt 2 days after boxing and beating Vladimir Klitschko at the time.
Well, that leads me on nicely to my last topic, just matters away from yourself. I bet you're glad you're not involved in this headache with Fury and White.
Yeah, it's one. Which I can see both sides too, but of course I'm a promoter, so I think that if you put down that size purse bid, I know that there's so it's not quite as plain sailing as it always is, because there was this discussion around the split. The other side feels hard done by. It's not a right split, but it's still a whopping purse bid. Yeah? So as a promoter, you pay that sort of money, and that's huge. I think they've had to put down a good part of it already. So just imagine that. You haven't had any cash intake, you haven't had any pay-per-view tickets coming in, you haven't had any gate receipts come in. Those stay with the venue or the ticketing system until after the event. So it's a lot of money to find. So I think that some other promoter has to be, I don't know if it's the right word to be protected, but it's it's a lot of money involved, and I'm sure that I think they hope to see both guys at the presser. As a fan, I want to see the press conference between Tyson and Didion almost as much as I want to see the fight. So I would be more as a fan disappointed if that didn't happen. And Didion's a showman. I've been at a few press conferences with Diddy and White. One where I had also my head taken off from a table. Thanks, Del Boy. I've had a couple of crazy press conferences with him, but he's a showman and he likes that. So it will also be hurting him that he's not going to these presses. So hopefully we'll see that. But there is, of course, there's two sides to the story, and I could just say from a promoter's point of view, if I put down 40-something million, I would be. I'd be slightly disappointed if the other gentleman or lady didn't turn up.
Did you listen to
the date? Very expensive date.
41 million. Did you listen to the TalkSport call with Frank Warren and Dillion's lawyer?
No, I didn't. Did he say one?
Yeah.
I'm getting on a plane in a minute. I'm going to make sure I download that.
TalkSport boxing YouTube channel and watch that. It's 11 minutes. But
and who's Dillion's lawyer? I know
Jeffrey Benz.
Jeffrey Benz. Okay.
Yeah, it's 11 minutes, probably the best part of your trip to Switzerland.
Ping that over to me. I'll have a look at that on my flight this afternoon.
Kalle Sauerland, the Power Man, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV down at your headquarters today. And I'm sure we'll catch up on the channel soon. Roll on May 13th and fight week at the O2 Indigo.
Thank you very much, Umar.
Welcome, Team Everlast, to the Team Everlast Fitness app. Download the Everlast Fitness app and find your greatness within.